A couple of people are going to show up. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the first live stream, the Nerdy Nomicons 31 Vlogs of Halloween. This is usually where the theme music would go.
Oh, good.
But we don't have theme music for
No
this.
theme music.
No.
Very simple setup tonight.
Very much, yeah. But this is going to be archived. We're still waiting for some people to show up here. People, let alone thumbs ups. So, yeah. Oh, Undead Otter's on. So we got somebody here.
Woo.
All right, so here's the situation. I was supposed to be going live with a different podcaster. Unfortunately, some things kind of came up with him, so he wasn't able to make it. He's planning on going to Florida this weekend. I already said it in the last video. Chris Chavez, good friend of both mine and yours.
Yes.
So he's from History Creeps. He was going to be on, but unfortunately, he didn't quite have the time. So I struggled, and I looked around because I know you're not huge into the horror movies.
I don't watch very many, no.
We'll save you. It's okay.
Oh,
It's okay. We'll save you. We'll initiate you into the horror world. But I did check out asking a few different people to come on, but unfortunately with like such short notice I was not able to. So Duncan was able to sit down with me, and we're going to be talking to you guys about a movie tonight called Camp Death 3 in 2D. So we do have a couple of people. Undead Otter is definitely here. Rachel's here. So we've got an audience. You ready to get started with this?
Yes.
All right. Camp Death 3 in 2D. If you had to guess, tell me what you think this movie is about. And that goes for you guys at home. Feel free to put it to list it down there. I'm going to be watching that while you talk.
So, let's see. So
I cannot wait for this.
Germany, World War II.
Oh, Jesus Christ. At least try to make it, at least try to be halfway believable. Although knowing some horror movies I've seen, that's not that far off.
It's a concentration camp.
Okay.
But it's all in 2D pixel art. And they're just the sprites killing each other over and over and over again. That way you can get the real 2D feel for it. Or, some people go camping.
Oh, okay. Now we're
in
on
Germany.
the right in Germany. Of course, it is always coming back to Germany.
The Germans!
Das Blut.
Das Blut!
Nein!
House.
It's a summer camp, right?
Oh,
okay.
Well,
it's a summer camp.
Death camp.
That was correct. Yes.
I heard death camp.
No,
I think
no, it's not death camp.
Concentration camp.
No, not a concentration camp.
I thought they were trying to be nice.
No.
About
this is a summer camp. I'll give you that much. Go.
So there's a guy with a hockey mask. No, it's wrong movie.
Yeah, that movie actually existed already.
Guy with a hockey mask. Oh, is this what this came after?
Yes, this is a brand new movie. This is 2018. As a matter of fact, I was asked to review this movie. Yeah, this is a brand new movie. I was asked to review this on my very first of my 31 vlogs of Halloween. I did Ghost Stories. It's a British horror movie. It's anthology. It's phenomenal. And one of my comments was from a guy named Matt Fry, who is one of the writers. There's 19 writing credits on this movie. And he's also the director. So he asked me if I wouldn't mind watching this movie and reviewing it for him. Huh. So I did my due diligence.
I've not seen this movie.
Very few people have. It's currently circulating through the festival circuits. It's won several awards. There are a lot of people that have reviewed it, both on YouTube and in writing. If I was... so this has gotten a lot of awards, okay? It's traveled to a lot of festivals, and it's going to finish out this year in festivals. It's coming out on VOD, Blu-ray, and DVD in 2019.
Any particular reason it's in 2D is in the title?
I'll explain that later.
Okay.
But that is... So I took a look at it. The guy's YouTube channel had very few subscribers, but that is what that is. So I looked on Twitter. I did not find a Twitter name. So I'm like, is this even real? So I emailed the guy. It
doesn't sound real.
It doesn't. It really does not. This is a real movie. This movie exists. It is out there.
Are the first two also in 2D, or is that the...
No, that's part of the joke.
It's brand new.
It's part of the joke. So this movie does in fact exist. Okay, so that's how I came into possession of this movie.
I'm still so dubious about this movie exists or not.
I've seen it. I've seen it twice. I even put out an email to Matt Frey, and hopefully he ends up watching this live stream coming in here at some point, because I've watched this movie twice now. I would really love a t-shirt. I would really love a t-shirt of this movie. Not if for no other reason than to have Camp Death on my body.
Yes.
At some point. So anyway, tell me what you think this movie is about. Now that you know it takes place in a summer camp.
Summer camp.
Yes. There is no concentration camps.
No. Okay. So people start getting murdered at a summer camp by either one of the previous campers or a counselor or a ghost or Freddy.
Or a Freddy.
A Freddy.
Like Freddy exists in plurality.
Yes, they do. They're also
like there's multiple Freddys.
There's lots of Five Nights at Freddy's. So I mean, like
that's true. That's true.
It could be a Freddy monster. Or
so Freddy Krueger is franchise now.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Sister location.
Touche. So that's as far as you've gotten.
The name like that doesn't seem like there's much more that could be happening.
Turns out there's a lot more that could be happening.
No.
Believe it or not, this movie. What to say about this movie? It is very much a spoof, and I kind of gathered that with a title
the in 2D part.
Yeah, with a name like Camp Death in 2D,
like Dale and Tucker versus the world or whatever it was.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Versus Evil, yeah.
That wasn't a spoof. That was a legit movie. Scary Movie was a spoof.
But
it was an homage, which this movie is as well. And I will give it this. Camp Death in 2D. Oh, we got a bunch of people in here now. Camp Death in 2D. It made me laugh for the first time since Scary Movie 2. Like, the Scary Movie franchises have not been good to me. Like, I loved number 1. I really liked number 2.
I've only seen 3 and 4, unfortunately.
Oh, God. Oh, God. They throw
one.
Ja Rule in there and they expect to make their money back. No wonder the franchise went downhill. And frankly, they kept on cranking them out after that.
Well, I like the Charlie Sheen bits. And when Leslie Nielsen was in them.
Well, I love Leslie Nielsen in general.
His moments are the best moments of the movies, though. And 3 and 4, Leslie
That's
Nielsen's
true.
always fantastic.
My favorite spoofs have always been Scary Movie 2, and Repossessed, which is a spoof of The Exorcist. This movie, I will give it credit, comes in number 4. It is ridiculous, and these are Matt Frey's words, not mine. This is an incredibly stupid movie. An incredibly stupid spoof movie. I'm paraphrasing here, but
it sounds like it would be.
It very much is. It very much is. There is in this movie death by cocaine. There is death by toaster. The killer actually grabs the toaster and starts like laser shooting toast at somebody. There's unfortunate death by lightsaber after a land speeder car chase. None
of this makes any sense.
I know. There is a Muppet squirrel that's running around, which I'm pretty sure is like an homage. Hannah's in here. Jen Merritt's in here. Hi, guys. There's a Muppet squirrel that's being chased all around by a very, very angry uncle who happened to be my favorite character. Now, after I watched this movie, I listened to a few reviews. I read some reviews online, and everybody seems to hate the uncle. He was like the best part to me.
Huh.
He was like an angry, belligerent. Maybe I like him so much because he reminds me of my dad. He's just always walking around with a cigar or a cigarette, like screwed in his mouth, going, "Fuck your world! God damn it, fuck your world! I'll fuck your world!" And I'm like, "Daddy,
are you my daddy?"
So I really liked that character, and he seemed to have like this Caddyshack-esque battle with the squirrel, which was fun to watch. There was also a low-speed car chase death, which was very strange. Like the car is going only like 2 miles an hour. Hey guys. Hey, Sam Kirby's on. Hey Kirby. So there's a low-speed car chase death. Lots of people died off screen like you do in slasher movies. The reason that it was called Camp Death 3 in 2D is it runs under the assumption that the other two movies did happen, despite the fact that
They never existed.
They never existed in the first place. And the reason it is called in 2D, hey Ben, the reason they call it in 2D is it's a send-up of Friday the 13th 3 in 3D, which is probably amongst the worst slasher movies ever.
And I know there's My Bloody Valentine 3D. I remember seeing all those commercials for it.
Right. That came out 20 years after Friday the 13th.
Wasn't the Thanksgiving spoof movie on Grindhouse, wasn't that also supposed to be in 3D supposedly?
I think it was.
So.
But this
3D horror films.
3D horror films. You see the eye go right at you.
I saw Piranha 3D.
Why?
Because Jessica wanted to see it, ironically, which I thought was really strange.
Okay, I guess that's a good enough reason.
I think she thought it was something else.
Reason for me.
Gianna was in it.
Actually, I'd have no problem watching that movie now.
And topless, and lots of people were topless in that movie, and Christopher Lloyd was in it. I mean, like, it was a terrible movie.
So you've got topless and Christopher Lloyd
in the same problem, and the guy from Sliders, whatever his name was, Chris O'Connell. He gets his penis bit off.
All right, you just made it impossible for me to jerk off during this movie now.
Yes,
you ruined that.
I brought it up high, and then I took it down
you took it to such a low. But
Gianna was in it.
You can't redeem it. You can't redeem this. But this was very much.
So it doesn't really matter.
This was very much a love letter and a send up to Friday the 13th 3 in 3D. That movie was ahead of its time, considering that they tried to go for 3D, but it was still so damn bad because at one of the points where you actually watch the movie and not in 3D, you can see the spring behind somebody's eye as it gets popped right out. And this movie I'm not joking. If you
kind of like Star Trek
right
5, where you see all the strings holding a William Shatner in various places.
That's exactly it.
You can see the special effects.
Wow, so that's how Peter Pan flies. Okay, I guess we don't need to clap.
Sideways.
So this movie is very much a love letter to that, in that it is horribly campy, horribly cheesy, irreverently irresponsible with what it does. Now, I will also say this. It has a budget of $33,000 and took, I believe, if I read this correctly, over 4 or 5 years to make. So this was obviously a labor of love.
Sure.
I mean...
That's not a lot of money spent over 4 years.
No.
That's a long time.
And, I mean, look at it this way. Blair Witch cost over triple that.
Really?
Paranormal Activity cost over triple that. I'm not joking.
There are $100,000 movies?
Damn close too. Actually, if memory serves, Paranormal Activity, the very first version of it cost $75,000, if I remember right.
Huh.
Blair Witch, yeah, that cost more than that.
At least double. Blair Witch.
It was still an effective movie.
But where'd the money go?
The camera equipment, renting out the forest, making sure that children. Oh boy, making sure that children. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't show up and there we go. Ruin the shots. I hit that with my foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that's where that money went. At least with this movie, you can see where every fucking dime went. Okay? If it didn't go into lightsabers, it went into land speeders. If it didn't go into that, it went into, and I'm not joking about this, a helicopter-propelled zombie head.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a plot point in this movie. The decapitated head of the serial killer's mother is propelled by a helicopter and ends up getting shot into space by a raft.
This hurts.
I know, but in the best possible way. Granted, upon my first viewing, I was neither high enough or drunk enough for this movie. I rectified.
You sound like you need a whole lot of messed up.
Oh, dude, this is a stoner flick if ever I've seen a stoner flick.
Like, and drunk out of your mind.
Oh, dear God, yes. Oh, dear God, yes. This is a Dunkin' Long Island iced tea movie for me.
Oh, I need like 6 Long Islands.
I need a half of one, and I'm stumbling around going, Where's your, I go to Florida when you mix drinks. Which, thank you for not starting me off with a drink, because halfway through this live stream, I'd be like, we're going to Florida, Florida. But this movie was effective in a lot of ways. It did make me laugh. There are several scenes that dragged on a bit. Mm-hmm. Personally, I would like to see a different cut of this movie, or any other cut of this movie.
Zack Snyder cut.
I would pay money for a Zack Snyder cut of this movie. I would love to see the grimdark version of Camp Death in 2D. I would pay money for that. And then I'd pay double that money for the Joss Whedon cut, and then we'd put them up against each other. That's never going to happen. But I would pay money for that.
That's watching the movie 2 more times. I don't know if I can handle that.
Depending on how much alcohol I have, I could. So this movie was not great by any stretch of the imagination. It was not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's one of the best horror parodies I've seen in a very long time. And probably the best thing I can say to this, Matt, if you're watching this, during the same weekend as I saw this movie, I also watched House 2, The Second Story. Yes. Clever title, though. Admit it. It was a clever title.
I was waiting for, like, houses and, like, MD.
No. Not houses in MD. Sorry about that. The camera dropped. This movie made a lot more sense than House 2. It really, really did.
I hope so.
Yeah. See, in House 2, there, for whatever reason, is a pterodactyl. There's a pteranodon. There's a mummy. There's an alternate universe. There's an exterminator that's also an adventurer. This movie at least keeps its focus. It may have a lightsaber and a land speeder.
I don't know.
But it keeps its focus.
I feel like those are more out of the box than what you're describing House 2 so far.
Out of the box, sure, but at least it had a coherent plot. With Camp Blood 3 in 2D, there's way too many numbers in this title. You kind of have a feeling of what you're getting. When I'm watching House 2, The Second Story, I'm like, okay, I'm going to look down at my phone, text somebody. I look up, why is Bill Maher on my screen? I send another text. Why is there a mummy? All right, look down again. Who the fuck's that guy?
Why wouldn't there be?
Oh, I see your point. At least in Camp Death 3 in 2D.
There's Hitler.
Not really, but not far off.
Oh, yeah, see?
Not really, but not
my concentration thing wasn't that far off.
No, it wasn't that far off. But it was a decent movie.
At least he's in Kung Fury.
He was not in Kung Fury. Oh, Hitler was.
Hitler
was, yes. Hitler was in Kung Fury. He was not in this movie. So, I don't know. On a scale from 1 skull to 10 skulls, I would have to rate this as, and I don't believe in that half shit when Adrian's not on here. I would have to rate this a solid 6 with the cut that I saw. It was more effective than not. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice. Once to view the movie. Once to be able to absorb a little bit so that I could try to extrapolate my thoughts, but I'm nowhere near drunk or high enough to do so right now.
I haven't been drunk in a very long time. I have not seen the movie, but purely based on your description, I'll give it only 2 skulls because that's my
This is a movie you should see. This is a movie you should see
because that's my Last Jedi rating.
Oh Jesus! We're not going to fall down this rabbit hole again. We're not going down this rabbit hole. Not during the 31 Vlogs of Halloween. Let us get into November. We can revisit this. But
it was a scary movie, man.
But
I railroad everything I touch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but in the best possible way. That's why I loved it. I don't know. I did enjoy it. I'm very excited to see what kind of special features they put on the Blu-ray. This is one where I would have to buy the Blu-ray just to see what the fuck Matt Frey was thinking. Like, why in God's name would you do this? Why in God's name do you have a homicidal serial killer burst into a musical number 23 minutes into the cut? I have to watch it with commentary. I have to know what he was thinking. And I think that might be the point of it.
Maybe.
So
I want to see Suburban Bigfoot.
I want to see Suburban Bigfoot. Should we see Suburban Bigfoot together?
Yes.
What do you guys think? Should we watch Suburban Bigfoot together?
Best of the Worst watched it on Red Letter Media, and Bigfoot like takes someone's arm off and beats another guy with it.
I would watch that so hard.
It was
right
funny.
in the butt. I would so watch that. Sign off, guys. Do you want us to watch Suburban Bigfoot? Talk about it together?
Suburban Bigfoot.
Once I start seeing things popping up. All right, Aaron. Oh, Aaron's here.
Oh, nice. Hello.
What is Suburban Bigfoot? Rachel wants to know.
It's a really terrible movie.
Jennifer's never heard of it.
Well, most people probably wouldn't. There's a show I watched called Best of the Worst. It's part of Red Letter Media, the YouTube channel, and they watch terrible, terrible movies that you would never have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And so they usually watch 3 and they pick which one's the best. And Suburban Bigfoot was on one of the ones. And like they all talked about how much they liked it, how they've actually seen this movie more than once, which is kind of shocking because how bad the movies typically are on Best of the Worst.
Right.
But
I mean, sometimes they're like Manos Hands of Fate bad.
Yeah, and then they've got such terrible movies, but it's a great.
It's not good.
It's a great series, and their guys are hilarious, and
Mm-hmm.
they know their filmography. They know the most random stuff about almost any movie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, those guys know their filmography probably better than I do, and I'm a cinephile.
Better than both of us combined.
Well,
They're
I watch
scary.
movies. You watch Star Trek.
Hey, but Mike is their big Star Trek guy. He probably could put me to shame. Like
I don't know if anyone could put you to shame.
They are amazing.
I really don't know if anyone could put you to shame. Aaron also, I saw a text up there. He's planning on doing a walk-on.
Yeah.
For this.
Oh yeah, he should if he's here.
Yeah, I don't know where he is, but
He should be on his way.
well, hopefully we're still going when Aaron does a walk-on.
Yeah.
Just for the record, for when he comes on, because you've got to record a podcast after this. Tell everybody where they can find you. If you love you some Star Wars, this is the guy. Star Trek.
Yes, Star Trek. Stop it. I'm at synthaholics.com. We're on Facebook at synthaholics. Facebook.com/synthaholics. /group/synthaholics. We also have a page. Check us out if you like Star Trek. Listen to us. We also talk about anything, not anything science fiction, but we are starting to branch into more. We did a Black Mirror episode not so long ago. Aaron and Holly did Ender's Game.
I listened to that.
That was interesting talk. Yeah, good. So we're branching out into other things.
Did you hear that Black Mirror is getting a Choose Your Own Adventure episode?
Oh, that's great.
I am so terrified. The very first episode, Prime Minister fucks a pig. That's not a joke. That is the pilot episode of Black Mirror. Right on, man.
Yeah, I can't wait for more Black Mirror. It's such a good show.
It is. It can be horribly depressing, but generally speaking, it's better than not.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought I heard creaking.
Maybe. Aaron.
What are you doing?
Oh God! What's up, buddy?
Hey, that's perfect. You can see him.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the guys that's been on the live chat. So I'm gonna get going so these guys can talk about Star Wars.
No. Talking about Iborg and the Star Trek Discovery trailer and the Star Trek Discovery short track that came out. Got lots of stuff to talk about.
Ooh. Again, thank you for not pouring me a drink, because otherwise I'd just be like a prop over in the wall. Star Trek.
It's awesome.
So in summary, Camp Death 3 in 2D.
Concentration camps.
Not a concentration camp.
No pixel art.
Very little pixel art, but I'm not saying no.
Oh.
I'm not saying no. It was definitely an effective movie. It actually did make me laugh. I do recommend seeing it. It's playing in a bunch of festivals. Canadian movie, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that.
Oh, no, you didn't.
So made by a Knucklehead. I love our friends from the Untamed North.
I want to say Suburban Sasquatch was also Canadian.
I think it was, to be honest with you. So if you guys get a chance to see it in any of the festivals, I highly recommend you do so. It is not the best movie I've ever seen by any stretch, but it is actually a lot of fun. And especially if you're drunk, you can't do much better than that. It's the first spoof to make me laugh, like I said, since Scary Movie 2. Will be out on video on demand, Blu-ray and DVD in 2019. I am going to buy a copy because, like I said, I need to know what the hell is going on in Matt Frey's head. And Matt, I would really like a shirt. I very much would like a shirt.
Get this man a shirt. A tattered one.
If that's how they come. You do know that I have a t-shirt collection. We're on day 7, and I've already counted my shirts. I've got enough to go all 31 days.
Wow.
Nice.
I am pathetic with my t-shirts.
Oh,
I've got like 3 pairs of jeans to last me all year.
Do
But
you
I've
have that
got
much underwear?
no,
No.
not even a little bit.
Nothing.
No, I do not. So that's going to take us out of it, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate it.
You're stopping by my place.
If you guys are not watching this live, same rules still apply. Like the video, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another horror movie for the 31 vlogs of Halloween. You can wave, Eric. I can see you.
Live long and prosper.